Once upon a time, in a small village by the sparkling blue sea, there lived a kind-hearted fisherman named Mr. Fisher. Every day, he would wake up early, put on his colorful fishing hat, and sail out into the glistening waters in his little boat. One sunny morning, as Mr. Fisher cast his net into the sea, he felt a tiny tug. Slowly, he pulled in his net, and to his surprise, he found a little fish wriggling and giggling in his hands. The fish was the most beautiful shade of shimmering blue, with silver scales that sparkled like stars. "Hello there, little fish," Mr. Fisher exclaimed, his eyes twinkling with joy. "What brings you to my net today?" The little fish looked up at the kind fisherman and said, "Oh, Mr. Fisher, I'm just a little fish, and I was curious to see the world beyond the waves. Can you please let me go?" Mr. Fisher smiled warmly and replied, "Of course, little fish. I wouldn't want to keep you away from your underwater adventures, but promise me, if you ever need help, you'll come find me." The little fish nodded with gratitude, flipped its tail, and splashed back into the sea. Mr. Fisher continued his day, humming a tune as he sailed along the gentle waves. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months. One stormy day, the sea became wild and fierce. The waves roared, and the wind howled. In the midst of the tempest, the little fish found itself trapped in a swirling whirlpool. Remembering Mr. Fisher's kind words, the little fish bravely swam through the tumultuous waters until it reached the fisherman's boat. "Oh, dear little fish, what brings you here in this storm?" Mr. Fisher exclaimed, scooping up the shivering fish into the safety of his hands. The little fish explained, "Mr. Fisher, I remembered your kindness, and I knew you would help me in my time of need." Without hesitation, Mr. Fisher carefully placed the little fish in a bucket, protecting it from the storm. As the storm subsided, he gently released the fish back into the calm sea. "Thank you, Mr. Fisher. You are truly a friend," the little fish said, its scales sparkling with happiness. From that day forward, the little fish and Mr. Fisher became the best of friends. The fisherman continued his daily adventures on the sea,